What's up, YouTube? Uh, yes, it's been a minute since I've been on here. More like 8 months. So whatever, lot going on. I ain't gonna make no excuses. But I finally have a guest, and she is ready to tell her story. And it is a story of resilience. This is a strong lady that I'm about to talk to. And her name is Cindy Spadatori. I said it real country, y'all.
Yes.
Anyhow, Cindy, I'm just gonna start off. Um, start off by telling us where you're from and how did you get to Texas?
Hello, everybody. Uh, Originally, I'm from Naples, Italy, and myself and my family moved in 1980 to New Orleans first, and then I moved to Texas 2 years later. So I was fresh out of high school.
You moved by yourself or
No, my sister flew before us, like a few months before, and she enrolled in Tulane University. So she had like a student visa type of thing. Because actually, it takes 1 year legally to move to another country.
mm.
So, so yes,
So your parents stayed in New Orleans?
yeah, all their lives.
Okay,
Yeah. And then I
cool.
moved to Texas in 2 years later, 1982.
Okay, wow. Um, when you got here, what kind of work were you doing?
Let's see. I didn't know anybody, so I babysat 4 kids for this lady. Grocery store beggar, bag girl, and then my dad found me insurance company
Mm,
uh, job as a file clerk.
gotcha.
Yes, so I actually was working 3 jobs.
Um, so I know your story. I mean,
Some of
some of it, child, because I'm finna learn some things I didn't know. But
it.
how was your family as far as how was y'all's relationship?
Well, I was resentful because I sure didn't want to move to a
Mm,
completely different country. And big reason why, because I was engaged to this Italian guy for 4 years. And the funny, well, it wasn't funny then, but now that I look back, the funny thing is that I couldn't tell him. I didn't have the guts to tell him when I was moving. So I
oh,
told him the night before.
oh wow,
So it took me a year.
man,
Uh
how did
huh.
he take that? He
Well,
was
he dropped me right then and there.
dang.
Yep. He said, if you don't come back in 1 year, that's it.
Mm,
That's why I was working 3 jobs.
jeez, Louise, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You don't know a lot.
I
I
know,
think you only know
y'all.
one.
I'm finna learn some stuff, y'all.
I think you only know a couple of them. Yeah.
um. Okay, so you got here and you got in um a relationship. Now we don't have to talk about all the relationships, but let's start with uh Brittany's dad. Is Brittany first?
Yes.
Okay,
Rennie's my oldest.
okay.
Okay. Well, before that, it was 7 year relationship. That's how I ended up in Irving, Texas. And so when I met this guy in New Orleans, he moved to Irving because back then it was time sharing. I don't know if you remember. And he was in the timeshare, one of the directors there in
Mm,
Irving. So I'm like, what am I doing here? It's like, you here? And I mean, you there and I'm here. So I ended up moving. And I, I had to tell my parents I was moving. There was another issue. My dad is from Sicily. So if you've seen any movies, they're very, controlling and jealous and all that.
Mm.
Very strict. So we
And they
found,
probably wasn't too happy. He was a black dude too.
no, he was Jewish.
Oh, he was Jewish.
Yes.
Okay,
Which he made it all right because Jewish people got money.
gotcha.
Most of them. So for 7 years, I never had to work.
Okay.
I just shopped and take care of the house, which is, I mean, back then I was in the 20s, so I didn't know any better. But dad
Mm.
once started to, I think it was my first, how do you say, abusive relationship.
Mm.
Yes, this is what the topic is, I
Yeah.
believe. Living through and moving on from domestic abuse,
Mm.
which, like we know, is physically, physical, mental, verbal,
Emotional.
emotional, in every sense. I experienced it all.
So it started with him. What did he do?
First it was, yelling, screaming. If the cat peed on the curtain, it'd be like a major outburst, as an example, or dishes were undone and things like that. So it's like, so I was kind of connecting me not working and him having the money to have power over me.
Mm.
So I guess they gave me a false sense of, if you have money, you can treat me like this.
Mm.
So I guess that's why I start, getting jobs and things like that. So I wouldn't have that. Well, of course, I didn't know any better. The problem was him, but I didn't know back then. So I'm getting emotional now.
It's
But
okay. You got your
that's the first.
got your paper over there.
So anyway, yeah, my baby. So that was it. I mean, you think you learned, right? But think about me. I never took time for myself like I just did,
Mm-hmm.
this period now. I always move from one to one to one. Not necessarily sexually, but I felt like I had to have a relationship. My parents were married for forever,
Mm-hmm.
like 50 some years. So I thought that's what I was supposed to do. But they argued too.
Yeah.
So I didn't have good examples.
Gotcha.
So that was one. 1989. Yeah, we're getting close to Brittany. So so I did work, start working at car rental Love Field. That's when I met Brittany's dad. He was a officer there, I guess security officer. And of course, I get my apartment. Every time I do good, I just mess it up.
Mm.
So I let him move in with me, which I know now it's red flag number one. And because you don't know somebody until you move, you live together, I discovered that he was using drugs,
Mm.
like the drugs that make you go broke. So at this point, I didn't have Brittany yet. So that was it. Then I got pregnant with Brittany. And then, well, before that, I found out that he already had four more kids, or
Mm.
4 or 5, I don't remember. It's a total of six. And so the whole pregnancy was very, uh, what's the term? It wasn't a calm one.
Chaotic.
Chaotic, stressful,
Mm.
very stressful, to the point that I didn't even eat, that much. So when Brittany was 2 months old, I guess I reached the limit and I kicked him out. I kicked him out. Of course, with abuse, it comes to cheating. They go hand in hand. So she was 2 months, and of course, it started coming over like, well, I'm not living here, but I can still see you. So because I loved him, uh, I ended up getting pregnant a second time. But like everybody told me, things happen for a reason. And I didn't go to the doctor for this pregnancy. And Brittany was 8 months old, and I lost the baby.
Mm.
Um, Lost the baby because they couldn't find, when I did go to the doctor, they couldn't find a heartbeat.
Mm.
That was it. I mean, we weren't together anyway. But when I told him, he said, well, file child support on this one too. That was his answer.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Mm. So
Any questions? There's a, breathe.
man, yeah, I gotta
There's
breathe.
nothing yet.
I gotta breathe.
This is light.
So after going through that, what amount of time did you spend by yourself with Brittany, like raising Brittany? Were you by yourself very long after that, or?
No, I
Oh,
worked all the time. So she was a babysitter a lot. And sometimes it's funny because that's the same babysitter that my grandkids have gone to. So generation. And no, I didn't stay. I dated here and there, but no, I didn't stay a long time um, by myself
mm,
because the third relationship is probably the worst of all. I want to say. Um, I went out with this coworker, worked together, and he knew me since I had Brittany and all
mm-hmm.
that. So I want to say about 2 years later that Brittany was two. Um, I don't know how and when, but I ended up moving in with him close to the airport.
Wait a minute. Excuse
Des
the people
Moines.
outside mowing, y'all. I hope y'all don't hear too much, but
I know.
ain't too much we can do about
So no, I wasn't. I guess I didn't know how to be by myself. I didn't know I needed to be by myself. I was out of control.
it. Mm.
I think that what I was about to say happened. It did happen for a reason, because God told me you need to slow down, and it did slow me down. And I'm about to cry. So 4 weeks. Excuse my chronology, because can't remember much. 4 weeks later that I moved in, I get pregnant. The reason why, because if you remember, I said I had a pregnancy, but it didn't happen. So, to go into details, you have to go into a procedure to, clean your body up, and that makes you more fertile. I didn't know
Oh wow.
because you're all cleaned up. Just like you grow in a plant, you put fresh, dirt and all that. I didn't know any better.
And this is the guy that you met that been had been knowing you since you had Brittany.
Yeah, because we worked together,
Okay.
and I worked at that rental place for 11 years.
Okay. And you moved in with him.
I moved in with him.
Okay.
I don't know why, because usually it's the other way around.
Gotcha.
I probably lost the apartment, or I moved out of the apartment. Oh, I know why. I moved in briefly, maybe a month or so, with a coworker,
Hmm.
and I remember that Brittany was 1 year because she had her chicken pox on her birthday. It's I have to go by. So 1 year. So after 1 year, he approached me to go out. So we went out, of course. Anybody asks me, I go out. It's not like no boundaries, nothing. Uh, Lack of attention, I guess, when I
Hmm.
was young. So, oh yeah, so I get pregnant after 4 weeks, and it's like, what in the world? Uh, later, I found out much later that he asked every girl he was with for a child.
Wow.
He didn't want his child to be black. I'm sorry, that's what I use. I don't like
Oh, he
colored
he didn't. Yeah, we don't use that. He didn't want his child to be all black. He wanted a mixed child.
mixed child. He was
Oh,
very light skinned,
okay.
very light skinned,
So he
and
hated
that's
his.
why my daughter's light skinned. I found out that because I found letters, pieces of paper, notes that, like, well, back in the days, there wasn't much text messaging. It was the pager and beeper era.
Hmm.
No six star 69, none of, none of that. So there was a note that I found, like cleaning the apartment because I was moving again. Uh, Asking this girl, to have his child. Like, what? So I'm the idiot that fell for it. Uh, so he was very excited when the baby was born, and of course he slept the whole time. And then he, I remember he was on the phone saying, "I got a baby." Like he made it. Like I'm sorry, he had it, had her. And but during pregnancy, though, I didn't see the signs. I remember now saying, "I'm gonna take that baby from you. I'm gonna come to the hospital and take it from you." It's like I'm just a baby machine. Like here, that's your
Right.
order.
And that was his first one.
That was his first one.
Okay.
That's why he was crazy. He was with a girl with a child before,
Hmm.
and of course, he treated it like his daughter. But yeah, he was crazy about Brittany too.
Hmm.
Because remember, Brittany was 2, I believe.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was crazy about. And of course, my second girl, his only daughter, was born on my birthday.
Hmm.
How did he celebrate? He went to the club
Wow.
with his back in the days. They used to give dad like a scrub shirt, whatever. Like when Brittany was born, she had, dad had a little footprint. Yeah, we don't do it anymore, but we talk about the 90s,
Yeah.
okay? 91, 93.
I was still in school.
Yeah, I'm old, guys. Uh, so, it's April now. Of course, I have to go to work. I take her to the same babysitter with Brittany. Um, when I say I moved out, not like packed and moving, like just literally, the kids you know. And I remember one morning, no, I'm sorry, not the morning of, I'm getting very nervous. Um,
Take a breath. Let me ask you this: did he know you were moving out, or you
well,
just
I
up?
wasn't staying there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you're right. I'm glad you asked me that because I found him in the parking lot sitting there. And I had a friend, a guy
Hmm.
that came, helped me move in. What does a man think,
Yeah.
that when they see you with a guy?
That you're with him,
You are
messing with
him.
somebody else.
So I don't even know how I met this guy. I know he was he worked in Dallas, veterinary place. But yeah, I the kids were the babysitter, and I just didn't stay there anymore. So that night, there was a morning. That night, um, my pager goes off the wall. We talk about 15, 16, 17 pages, and going crazy. This time I'm calling my boss because he's making threats and stuff. I said, man, if something happens to me tomorrow, because you know me, I'm a workaholic. I'm going to work.
Right.
So, like I said, if something happens to me tomorrow, this is why. So, and I also called in the morning and let them know. So I leave the guy's place because I spent the night
Hmm.
and I'm ready for work. I dropped him off on my way to work because I was real close, and I see him following us, more like chasing us in the car. Uh, and I remember it was the bridge on Esther's Road in Irving. And at this point, I'm calling. It's like, hey, he's following me, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you this little secret. Back back in that time, there was no stalking law. That came
Hmm.
afterwards, of
Oh
course.
wow.
Everything comes afterwards. That morning, I got real scared because I knew he had a gun and everything. Um, wasn't scared enough not to go to work though. I mean, right now I wouldn't have, gone. But yeah, he followed me. Then I guess I lost him. I don't know. But as soon as I got to work, I called his mom. I think it was at 9 a.m. I called my mom. I don't know. If you ask me now why, I don't know. I just told him, hey, blah, blah, blah. Maybe to call him,
Yeah.
and stop whatever he had planned. Because I think it started the night before. Well, to make a long story short, one of the managers asking me, it's funny because he asked me to go ride with him to pick up cars, like, private jets and stuff. He couldn't find the keys
Mm.
because I would have been gone already. So I'm sitting I'm not at the front desk anymore. I was doing insurance replacements. So my office was in the back, which is at the entrance of the driveway, whatever. And I'm facing my computer. So I got the back to the door. That's when I learned later he came in from the service area where they repair.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm facing I'm not facing. My back is facing to that door. Never saw him coming. I got shot 3 times in the back.
Mm.
One bullet was a quarter inch on my spine. And all I can think of, my grandma put her hand on it. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Was your grandma?
Passed.
She was there with you.
They don't lodge in the bullets. They go through my body. Uniform had a white shirt, so it wasn't white anymore because they took it to the when we went to court. I got to see it. Um, to describe being shot, everything slow motion. If you have done drugs, it's everything in slow motion and every noise is far away. I can describe it. The doctor said I should have been dead.
Mm.
At this point, I tried to, the phone was right there, to call 911. And I got mad because they said, "Where is your address? You should know what my address is." So I'm like, get it. So at this point, you can't think. You're just moving out of reaction, right? And I run from the back where I was through I remember like it was yesterday.
Mm.
This is 93. It was like 30 some years ago. I'm running through the hallway, and this is a Monday morning at the airport. It's the busiest day. So, and he comes with a gun. So I run to the hallway and go to the bathroom
Dang, how did
to
you
hide.
do all of that? It was the adrenaline.
Thank you.
Mm.
3 bullets.
Wow.
And if y'all too young to remember, there is a movie. What is it called? No, I just went blank. There is a movie where I saw uh, this person that hides in the bathroom and crawls on the toilet, so your feet don't show. Also, I turned the beeper off. All this, like I didn't rehearse, but somehow, yeah, beeper off, up on the toilet, lock the door, and I think it was 3 stalls. So after I do this, all I know is I got shot. I don't know anything else. I learned later that, and I'll start shivering. He went the same hallway, and I don't know if he went to the bathroom first or he went to the lobby first.
Mm-hmm.
So I also learned that when he shot me, he shot my manager.
Oh wow.
The copy machine was behind me, the office area. It was Monday. He was making copies of the timesheets back in the days. And he got shot in the front. I got shot in the back. So his bullet went ricocheted, and it was still in him.
Oh.
And it's funny because he reacted like I did. He took his contacts off. Isn't it crazy?
He took what off?
The contacts.
Out of his eyes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. Just like I turned my beeper off, my pager off.
That's
It's
weird.
it's funny because I no, it's not funny. Uh, I know that in the movies you shot you on the floor.
Yeah.
We're doing all this extra shit that I don't know. I never knew how to do.
Right.
It's another thing that freaks me out. When all was said and done, I'm going back after this. I locked my door, right? The door opened up by itself when I was said it done. Because you remember he kicked it.
Mm.
I don't know how the freaking door, because people came to me to get me, all the guys and all that. And it's like, how'd y'all get in? They say it was open. I'm like, I'm getting goosebumps now. So remember when he was in the hallway, and so before the lobby, that's the manager office. And we had a guy, the one who got shot, and the girl, excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. The lady said, I found out that he pointed the gun at her. And she said, no, no, don't shoot. I have kids, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I found out all this later. Well, I mean, because of course I don't know. He shot himself. He grazed, like they say, the leg or some crap like that. What? Why don't you shoot like you shoot us? So I remember it was April 5th. So in April, like it's a little chilly outside.
Mhm.
All I remember is I don't see anything, but I feel the cold air
Mhm.
of the the see I can think straight. Where you put somebody to go in the ambulance, the stretcher.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see anything. I just remember it was very bumpy. Like they didn't care. Uh, so I went to Parkland, and he went to Parkland, and he was handcuffed to the bed, of course. And my manager went there too. He survived. I survived. I went straight to ICU. Next thing you know, when I opened my eyes, my mom is there, my dad is there. My dad got a call. He was at work and he jumped on the flight from New Orleans.
Mm.
Left my mom behind. My sister came, people out of nowhere. My ex, my exes came. Like, what the heck? All my ex boyfriends showed up. It's very embarrassing because my mom and my dad, that was their first time in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was, how do I explain my parents? Of course, it was all over the news. It was all over everywhere. It was like all over the papers. My mom saved a page of the paper, and this son of a gun was cheating with another girl from our job. Now, I discovered that while I was still pregnant, but and when they told her, my best friend, well, not my best friend, but she's like, so and so is pregnant, right? I said, how? She doesn't have a boyfriend.
Mm.
So she got pregnant the same time I was pregnant. Just like the damn talk shows. And he took money out of our account to take her to have an abortion. We had a joint account back then. Never again. But he used to take, he was the only one, even my mom was ironic, that gave me his whole check. Figure that out. He gave me his entire check and he kept his card payment or whatever. Yeah, so it was our account or whatever. So he took her to have an abortion, and after that, she found out that I knew. So she begged the manager to be transferred. Manager said no. I sure wasn't leaving. I had seniority,
Right.
and wow, she showed up in court for witnesses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She was there that day?
Uh, was she there that day? No, I think she. When did she get fired? She got fired for a credit card fraud. She was using the customer's credit cards. So, how you say karma? Yep. And she was a twin too. So,
Wow.
both twins showed up. But anyway, after I get out of 2 weeks, they kept me 2 weeks. My parents wanted to fly me home, New Orleans. So all my stuff went to storage. My baby was a baby. She was what, 2 months, and I put her in daycare. I miss my baby so bad. Uh, I stayed. I had visiting nurses. I stayed. Oh, let me tell you what injury I got. If I should
Yeah, I want
talk
I,
about. Sorry.
yeah.
So I got shot in the back, a quarter inch of the spine, which, if you know the measurement, it's almost they paralyzed. Get paralyzed immediately. But I didn't, and so the damages were the spleen. I learned what we have inside because I didn't know what a spleen was. Spleen and the liver uh, were hit.
Mm.
My gallbladder, which I found out I don't need it, was removed. Good for me. So as of right now, if I had what I did have ultrasounds and CAT scan, it'll show like a little white thing. It shows that those two organs were hit.
Mm. Wow, really?
Yeah, yeah. They said spleen has blah blah whatever the verbiage is.
What long term effects did it do? Like, is there anything today that you still?
Emotionally,
Well, I know that.
yeah, PTSD
Yeah,
big time.
I'm talking about like,
Physically,
yeah.
well, my doctor said, my surgeon said he was in court too. He was good looking too. I remember. Long hair. They young now. I don't know why. Um, he said my age was my how do you say it, advantage, because I was 33.
Mm.
Imagine now, probably would have been dead. My age that helped. Also that they didn't get stuck inside, something
Mm.
like that. So the spleen was repaired. My liver was repaired. Uh, it just gallbladder or whatever. Cause I think you get kidney stones or something. I don't know what the gallbladder,
Gallstones. Yeah.
gallstones. I don't know what. So I'm glad. Uh, yeah, he was in court. The court was really traumatic. The trial,
Because you had to go over it all again.
2 weeks. Of course, Brittany's dad was there every day. Uh, I was just like in the movies, if you notice. I was treated like the other person, like what do you call it, assailant or the
Oh,
guilty party.
oh, really?
I was drilled. So it's funny because I love courtrooms and I'm very intrigued. The other prosecutor said, "Well, how come you didn't hear the shots?" Because my body went through shock, Dumbo.
Right.
I never heard the shots, y'all. Never heard the shots. But because it was April, around I couldn't watch movie. I can watch them now after 30. I couldn't stand the fireworks.
Mm.
You know, 4th of July fireworks. At the beginning, I used to. It's another positive thing. I used to have nightmares every night. I used to see him. Of course, he wasn't there. I used to. So my mind by myself, I said I need closure. So because I never drove on that street, if y'all know, uh, to go to Love Field Airport, you have to go to Mockingbird Lane. It's a long lane. I never went that way. I never went that way
Mm.
for a long time until I say I need to do this for me. I need to go back and not relive, but go to the same place
Mm-hmm.
because I was under shock last time. So your mind goes into I don't understand. I don't know how to explain it. I want to say survival mode or
Mm-hmm.
something. You have to. Well, I don't wish to anybody, but if you go through it, that's how it is. So I went to my desk, and I remember I had plans like I do now. I gave my plan to the manager because in my mind I said the plane saw everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want, take it with me. Then I went to the bathroom. Uh, I mean, I just, of course, they put a state of the art alarm, state of the art door alarm, whatever,
Yeah.
everything. Um, After that, guys, I never had a bad dream, nightmare.
Mm.
So
It's like you faced it.
my brain kicked in.
Yeah. Did you ever go to counseling or anything?
Yes,
Okay.
for 3 years. I went to I don't know if it's still there, but it's the family place in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I did the group, which is the worst, guys. The group sessions because you get attacked. But I think it's a kind of to make you talk or
Oh.
make you release. Because I mean, she was pretty good. The lady there, she's like, "You wearing your glasses today? You're hiding again." And it's like, so because I wanted to wear sunglasses today. I remember.
Well, you are definitely a walking miracle. Yeah. And God was definitely on your side that day. Probably your managers too. No, I know he was. Um, have you talked to that manager anymore?
It's not there anymore, but yeah, afterwards, yes,
Mm.
I sure did. We recalled the day
Mm.
because I didn't know it was behind me.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know anything until probably after uh,
Don't do that.
after the hospital. I can't remember. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not used to it. I need a squeeze ball.
um.
Yeah, so we kind of described each other that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what? He goes, yeah. And because I guess he shot me first. And when he shot me first, it makes sense. He turned around because, you're facing the machine. When you turn around, you your front is facing him, the shooter.
Mm.
So he got shot in the front.
Wow.
Well, you think we weren't going to find out it was you? Then his so-called girl did an interview on the radio and said he was the girlfriend that I wasn't. I read it on the newspaper that I wasn't letting him see the child.
What?
That's how
So
I know people
that
lie.
that part don't even make sense because what reason did that still give him to go shoot? Not
Cause I
one.
left. I
It
left
don't
him.
matter that you don't go
You know
shooting
good and
somebody.
well.
Yeah, that's
Because I
crazy.
looked at the cop in the a police officer in the courtroom. I said, "You want us to leave him?" And look what happens. I was mad.
Yeah,
Sure enough, every time I leave something, that's why it's hard for me to break something off
to
because
let go.
in my mind, no, I mean, I know already what's going to happen
Yeah.
if I leave this person. But you think I learned the red flags? Nope.
So next one.
Next one, you think that you're going to rest, right? Stay on your own. I'm, I'm, I'm well now physically. Still going to counseling. I hook up with somebody else and tell him the story. So, guys, every time you meet somebody, don't tell them your past. Tell them just a little bit, not the whole past, especially the bad part, because they're gonna throw it on your face and they're gonna use it. Not everybody, just the unstable. But I can believe I have an attraction. I had an attraction for the most abusive man, and I'm thinking, why? What's wrong with me? But then, I mean, I remember my parents were arguing a lot. And then my mom used to look at me, or my sister said, "See what you made him do? It's your fault."
Oh wow.
I'm like, "What?" And it's very, watch your children because it's very important. how you grow, how you grow up, how you what happens to you. And another thing I learned after when something happens in public, like shooting, schools, places of business. I mean, it happens so much now. I didn't know that they have a person that comes and offers counseling, even if it's not you, right? And I found out that there are a lot of people who were abused,
Mm.
sexually abused.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Oh, what with you all this time? During counseling, I not found out because, of course, I lived it, but I guess I remember because your body blocks, your trauma. Okay, so we talked about how's your childhood. What did you do and how what makes you sad or all the usual question. And I said I don't remember much, but I know that I can't stand flower sheets. I have solid colors.
Mm.
I can't stand flower sheets. I don't use green and red. My uniform was red, so definitely red is not in my wardrobe. And it's like, why? Why flowers? I said, I don't know. My mom lost flowers. She had all our sheets were flowers, like a bunch of flowers, and a green comforter. And it's like, what else? And anyway, to make a long story short, she finds out, we all find out together, because I blocked her. I was abused as a
Mm.
child. And I don't know if I can say that, but it was a family member and it wasn't a male. So, which is crazy because all I know is males,
Mm.
sexual abuse. But she gave me the task to tell my mom. I was like, are you kidding
She
me?
wanted you to tell your mom?
You get like homework
Oh,
task.
the counselor
The
wanted you to tell.
counselor,
Okay.
sorry. I'm like, there's no way. Especially when my mom walked in one day. And it's like, so I do it because it's supposed to be therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when was this? Of course, she says. And it's like, oh, another thing, we narrow down the age because I don't remember before or during. So I want to say 7 to 12 or 6 to 10, something like that. I don't remember. So,
Hmm.
and I learned that just like abuse, if you're sexually abused, you can either be promiscuous a lot or change your sex. I'm not talking about it. I don't know your sex. Not change your sex. Your sex
Orientation.
orientation or what you like. Something sexual kicks in.
Like basically, you could be a lesbian because that happened to you.
That, or if it's a guy, yeah, if it's a guy, but it was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I got very promiscuous. That that tells me that's why I went from one to one to one to one to one to
Mm.
one. I never stopped.
Gotcha.
And so where was I going? So after the shooting, yes, he goes to jail. Of course, they give him 90 years because it was two people involved or something like that. Oh, they tried to do it all in one act
Oh,
instead of
two different
two
counts.
different counts. So he gets 90, which with good, whatever, it becomes 20. I don't know the math, but so he spends 20, and then of course he starts writing letters. Bro. No one time for years and years and years. No one time it said I'm sorry. No one time. No one time. Of course, the sisters tried to approach. They don't know what to do because everybody was there. They knew me. We were friends, so they really didn't uh, accuse me or anything.
Hmm.
They were very sad that that happened. And I mean, if you're in a family, if you know your brother's crazy, then you know your brother's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so they wanted to see my daughter, and that went left field because it became like police got involved. The lady didn't want to give, you know, let uh, the, the babysitter didn't want me to see my child. So police was called. They said this is a civil matter. So we go to court. All this all the way to she's 9 years right now at this point, and like what? This is not like a child support thing in court.
And it's
What
your
we?
child.
That's my child.
Right.
But to do the right thing, I left her there. I was 5 minutes. That's the reason why I'm in Irving. I always was 5 minutes away. I was there a lot. She just didn't want to let her go. My child finally left this woman's house when she got married. That's, I bet it is.
Wow.
And her kids go to the same babysitter. I'm so glad. Yeah, she's the only child that got married and
Mm.
got two girls. And then I found out through Facebook and stuff that she has seen her dad.
Mm-hmm.
I know she went to East Texas. That's where he's from. Um, oh, of course, when no, I'm sidetracking here. When you get out of jail for something like that, the victim gets notified. I didn't get notified
Really?
because I changed phone number. I changed.
Oh.
I had a PO box. Like I'm not gonna think, hey, let me call victim outreach in Austin. So who tells me the sister? I'm calling to tell you that my brother, I just picked him up. My brother is a what a freaking way.
What year was that?
It was 20 years later. So
Oh, okay.
when was it? I was still a city.
Okay.
I was a city when that happened. So, so he's on parole or probation. I get
Pro-
him confused. Probation,
yeah, probably probation. If
probation officer. Yeah, he's a
yeah.
probation officer. And I got to know he's back in East Texas. I got to know where he worked because I need to know. He's not allowed to contact me still. But I asked if he can contact his daughter. So yeah, because she's not the victim. I'm
Mm.
the victim. So one of the you know uh, mandatory things is you have to work. You can't contact your victim. You have to stay so many miles. Blah blah. I don't know. Then I found out again that this fool is married. Got married. Somehow this woman know about me, and she works in her like in the world. Now I gotta worry about when he's out. So,
Wow.
but he hasn't contacted me. Also, I tell you one thing. Of course, I blocked him off Facebook just in case. Um, because I didn't want to keep my daughter distant from the family. So well, I haven't talked to them in a while, but some one day I talked to them and I sent pictures of the babies, right? And then because they always ask me, what can I tell you, what I cannot, and where can I tell them and what I cannot. They were always nice about that.
Mm-hmm.
So the sister tells me, when you send me those pictures, because I had them on a computer, and my brother passed by and said, "Who is that?" And then she told him, "These are your grandkids."
Mm.
So I bet that blew his mind.
Wow.
So life goes on, and you think I learned something.
Mm.
When does it stop?
When does it stop?
When does it stop? I think it stopped there now.
I think so too.
Um, I got married. Don't ask me why, how. And I had my son with this guy. I got married because I wanted something solid for me, for my kids too. And I got married after 2 months. I meet this guy. 2 months. 14 years of hell. I don't see red flags. Now, I've seen them before I see them.
Mm.
Even when I watch shows and stuff. 14 years lasted. I found out he abused one of my children.
Mm.
I'm not gonna go into details because to protect that person, but
Yeah.
I can't get him out of the house. Just like the reason why I can't get him out of the house, and so I tell my dad I need help. I need divorce. I can shell out $3,500 deposit, and he milked my lawyer because that at the end of the day that divorce cost me $7,000. Every time you edit something in the decree, it's $500 or more. I can't remember now. Every time you go to court, it's another fee. So yeah. So before that, reason why I went to the lawyer because he filed for divorce on me, pro se, and I get it in the mail. I'm like, what the hell is this? So my son is 10 by now, 10 years old, and he ran away twice, same day, no shoes, and he tells me, um, "That's between you and dad. I got nothing to do with the divorce." I said, "Damn, what do I do?" So I get a lawyer, right? And I don't know what kind of lawyer that. I'm sorry, what kind of judge that was to give my son, my ex husband, custody
Of his son.
with no job, no car, no place to live, uh, all that good stuff. And I don't know, guys. I don't wish that on anybody. Marsha wants me to write a book.
You should.
It's gonna be a very thick book,
That's fine.
Audible. um, so we decided to do this, right? Uh, and Marsha request, but I kind of wanted to get it out. Because of course it didn't stop at the divorce. I'm going to meet somebody else. So if I add all the years, right,
Mm-hmm.
and all the money, we talk about 7 years. Then we talk about 2 years. Of course, it lasted 2 years because I got shot. It might have lasted longer. Then another 14 years
With another one.
with my ex-husband. And of course, the very last one, I'll tell you that's the last one. Because you have to learn to love yourself. That's the bottom line. I never knew the recipe. You have to love yourself. You have to learn from your mistakes. I don't know what else to tell you, but I didn't plan. I didn't plan this. The last one, I didn't plan to leave, and of course I wanted to leave, but you never know how and when. The good thing, because most of the women that are in that predicament, they don't, they're housewives, they don't work. So of course they tell you to save your money, but because at the end of the day, they control your money. They also control. Oh, of course, I'm talking to the people that don't know yet,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm out of it, so I can look back, and tell you what the flags are. It starts honeymooner, roses, the best guy, completely opposite of the last one, until it just, you don't have to do anything. Anything click will click in them. It could be the thermostat. It could be you're 5 minutes late. It could be you sneezed wrong. So it's not you, it's them. And I hear this all the time. Why did you stay so long? Because for me, in your mind, first of all, in your mind, you move in your mind, like you cease everything. Like I stopped cooking, I stopped sex, I stopped caring. So you kind of block yourself, distance yourself to the other person. That's the first thing that you feel. And then it takes a while to physically remove yourself. Because I'm thinking, would it be easy for him to leave? No, it's a power struggle. I'm staying here and make you
And
miserable.
all his help comes from you.
Hmm?
I said, and all his help comes from you. So why would he leave?
And when they do leave, they find your replacement, not just a body. The same thing. Because all my exes, they're doing the same thing. It's just a different zip code and a different person. So I don't feel bad. I don't feel any jealousy at all. I feel like it's your problem now.
Mm-hmm.
You the dummy. I was called fat. I was called ugly. I was called, for a long time. I didn't have mirrors. I didn't look in the mirrors. First I was too skinny. My ribs would show, like back in the days before the kids, and I gained weight. But to me, when I eat, I'm calm. It's not like the other way around. A lot of people stressed. They eat, 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 eat. If you see me not eating, then something's wrong. On my childhood, I wasn't eating. I only had 5 things on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat nothing. I was a size 0,
Oh, wow.
and I was a 3 until I was 30. I know, right? So I'm embracing my stomach now. I'm like, I don't care. If I do it, it's because of health reasons. But I don't give a damn, because you cheated on me with the fattest cows. You cheated me with the ugliest persons. Um, People on. I'm not. What do you call it? Uh, I don't want to talk bad about Snap, and on care, on social care, whatever. But yeah, you dated somebody on food stamps and this and that, and you always have to.
Which, if you need food stamps, you need food stamps. But I get what she's saying.
Yeah, it's
He wasn't going without with her.
right. No, I say I'm not going anywhere without you. Actually, when we had to move out of that last townhome, I'm talking about my last relationship. I don't want to go into details, but I mentioned a couple things. Um, we had to move out, so he was already demanding where. So you choosing the place to go to, and it's not gonna be under your name. My stupid me, we went looking for places, and it's like, you know too well these places. Like you've been this here before. You want it away from the highway, in like a cul-de-sac thingy, and you want this, and that. You want everything, but every time you do work, you keep your money. My voice is leaving. Sorry, guys. I'm getting mad now. The reason why I'm done is,
Oh, shoot.
oh, that's my timer. The reason why I'm done with providing myself to abuse, um, you think you can change them, you can't change them. If it changes for the worse. I have asthma now because of him, and I didn't know until the doctor told me. Because I quit smoking a long time ago, almost 3 years in November. It is November,
Mhm.
November 10th. Didn't notice. Um, so if I quit smoking, my lungs are great. I'm taking care of my body for the first time. I had surgery in July. My kidney did not have cancer. It was benign. So all this stuff that I couldn't have done uh, by staying over there. So I removed myself, and it cost a lot to me. Not the material things, but I was just fed up. I was just fed up. For me to be fed up and leaving my place and leaving my car behind and leaving my emotional support dog, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Well, tell us a little bit about the man that loved you the most.
This guy here, the reason why I made a pill out of it, because he arranged for the animal shelter to pick him up, sign the papers to be euthanized. He knew, some people use the kids to get to the other person. He did it with this. I I know he was old, but
It was still your baby.
yes, still my baby. So he thought he got me with that, but little he knew, I knew the officer picked him up. She helped me arranging a company that picks him up, cremates him. He puts the ashes in a little nice, container. And I'm thinking, I used to sleep with him. This is a picture of him in the morning. The reason why it's so big, his head is on the edge of the bed. And then I have another one next to Marsha. That's when he was younger. He's three there. But this is most important to me because it's towards the last days. Okay. Of course, he thinks he got one up on me, but I felt very good about it. Like, I want this one. You didn't hurt me. Actually, I sleep with him every night, so you didn't hurt nobody. You hurt yourself.
So that was a lot.
It was a lot.
And
Probably
that's why I just let her talk because I wanted her to get it all out. Um, One of my last questions, because this has almost been an hour.
yeah, I didn't know.
Um, how do you feel about where you are right now?
I feel safe. I feel like I don't have to uh, be scared when my door is not gonna be open. There's nobody gonna be throwing stuff at me or choke me. Then I can't breathe or try to. If I lock the door, try to bust in. Um, I feel like I should have done it a long time ago, but this was the time. I didn't. I didn't orchestrate this. The Lord did. God did. And that's when I need my napkin.
Yeah.
And before, I want to add, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I've been a Christian. I believe in the Lord. I believe in when it's the right time. I believe that great things come if you're patient. They don't come on your turn. They come on His turn. And you just have to trust and believe. I feel so much better, even physically. Um, I took care of my health because no one else would do it. Make sure that this last surgery was going to be away from there, because the last one, I didn't do too good.
You couldn't even heal because
I couldn't heal. Um, so, yeah, I just, every time I drove to that street, just like last time, I get anxious. It's a street close to my grandson's school. So,
mm.
just by driving by there, it's very bad memories.
And one more thing, what would you tell somebody going through it right now? Or even seeing the signs?
You have to see the signs. If you're in love, you're not going to see the signs. But they prey, these guys, on the weakest person they know. And they know your background. If you tell them everything, they know your background. Because I know he used to say, "Oh, I see why you got shot." You know, things like that. Or, I mean, usually when you hear this all the time, all the time, all the time, you start believing it. But something in me said, no, no, I'm not fat. I'm not ugly. Matter of fact, half of your friends want to get with me. You just don't know. But I don't need anybody. I I, I have my peace now. I don't need anybody. Uh, I even retired just to focus on me. I retired. If I do go back, it'll be like remote. I'm trying to rest my brain because it was too much. In April, it was too much. I had to quit my job, go on leave, take care of this dog, move. Luckily, my daughter opened up. Well, they were never closed. Opened up her door. She wanted to do it, me to do it a long time ago. She helped me. Um, we help each other actually, and she's very happy that I'm out of that, situation. So I don't I don't want to say see the flags because you don't know until, I mean, like I said before, the first few dates or the first few months, it's lovely. They tell you what you want to hear. They kind of groom you. They show you what you want to hear. I'm sorry, what you want it to be done. They shower with gifts, um, and then you start seeing the abuse. They start going out more, and which is that was great for me because I didn't have him in the house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, to the people that say, why don't you just get up and leave? Believe it or not, in my brain, in my mind, I'm better here with him because I can see what he does than me leaving and thinking, oh, it's probably following me, or it's probably, I don't know where he is, or we might find out where I am. As crazy as it sounds, with him being there, I can pretty much, you know, see what's going to happen, or, you know, also fake. You have to fake it. If you have to fake in a good mood or agree with what he says, just for the sake of survival. But this is not forever. It is not forever. Because when they don't get what they want, or they feel like they didn't succeed in having so much power over you, they either they either leave, or, which is very hard, or they don't care anymore. And that's when I get to that point that we're in separate rooms, we're not talking, there's no reason to be here. So that's all I can say. I know it's a lot of people that
Yeah.
gone through it, will go through it, but it's very important now you raise your kids, because if they have that still in them, they can they can see red flags, or just do a little research also, on that person, and don't say, oh, it's good with the kids. They're all good with the kids. It's part of their charade. It's part of
The act.
the act. It's part of the act. And it's always your fault. And you're always doing wrong. And that's crazy.
And that's not just with men. That's with women too.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
There are men that are abused by women also. They don't want to talk about it. They do have shelters for men as well. I learned when I was in shelter.
And in the LGBTQ community, same thing.
Wow.
Women with women, men with men. Somebody, it doesn't matter. Anybody that's abusive, they're going to be abusive regardless of who it is. So I'm glad that we did this. I think it would help some people.
It should.
It should.
Because that could be your problem one day.
Right.
Or right now.
If you don't get out and figure a way out, or try to do something. And one of the most important things she said was she loved herself. She started to love herself. And until you do that, you'll deal with anything just to feel like you're loved.
Yeah, they can tell you they love you, but if they don't show it, don't fall for it. And they know you don't love yourself. They're very smart, manipulative. Because I did not get attention. I was little. I was very shy, very shy. I was barely talking, and all that stuff dominoed till I got older, got my own kids, and life doesn't come with a guide. Oh.
No, it doesn't. Well, y'all,
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for sharing your story, because it takes a lot for people
to
get on here and be vulnerable to tell your story. Yeah. That's not an easy thing to do. So
we've been talking for a while about it.
Yeah. I always say at the end that keep standing, because
Yeah.
Cindy is still standing, and I'm still standing, and like just believe in yourself and figure out what it is that you need to work on, because we all have something to work on. Um, I'm going to do a shameless plug and say my book is ready. Yay!
Show it.
Uh, y'all go cop that. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it down below the video so you can go and
Yeah.
get you an order, or you order your book. And thank you for your support. Leave comments. Y'all have questions, or want to talk to Cindy. I'll let her know if she feel like talking. She'll talk to you. But if you need help, also I'll try to find a number for domestic abuse, and,
Hotline.
and put it on this video.
Yeah.
So, all right. Till then, peace.